Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel. Today we're talking about all of the new upcoming luxury makeup releases, mostly fall with some holiday sneak peeks. And I will be sharing my thoughts, telling you what I'm planning to purchase, what I want to skip. And as always, I hope you sound off down below in the comment section and let me know if there's anything that really interests you. Let's begin by taking a look at the brand new fall makeup collection just launched by Dior. This is available right now with early access. You just log into your loyalty account and you can see all of the products. You're able to shop, add them to your cart. By the time I edit and post this video, it's possible everybody can shop. I have a few thoughts. It's very edgy, bold, attention grabbing with the graffiti Miss Dior. These are the colors you typically think of when you think of fall makeup. The eyeshadow is definitely the star of this makeup launch, and I've come to the realization that I just have too much eyeshadow. I also don't know if my personal makeup style really meshes with these fall colors, so I'm on the fence about this collection. I've seen pictures of 4 different palettes. Right now on the website there are only 3 available: 862 Shocking Pink, Bold Black, and Wild Beige. Of this selection, the 2 that would interest me the most would be the Wild Beige, and the Bold Black is actually the #1 palette that seems different enough. I like that pop of black right there in the center. I'm thinking that could be really pretty as eyeliner, kind of smoking out the lash line, but it's cooler tones. You know I love a warm neutral, so Wild Beige certainly seems like the type of palette that I could use on a daily basis. But do I have too many of these colors? Have I ever finished a Dior eyeshadow palette? No, I don't know if I've ever honestly hit pan in a Dior eyeshadow palette, so it just feels a little bit over the top. They're very pretty, and I like the pouch, how it says Miss Dior. I'm not a huge fan of the Miss Dior graffiti. I know it calls back to, I think, maybe the 90s. They did something similar. It's very edgy, cool girl, very city. Reminds me of New York City in the fall with a black leather jacket and knee-high boots. That's just not me. I really loved the summer collection. That was a perfect fit. The light pink toile de jouy, I feel like the whole collection just sort of transported me to southern France for a summer vacation. That was my style. This is very bold, it's very beautiful. I certainly appreciate the aesthetic, but it's not my aesthetic, personally. Another obvious reason to skip these palettes, they're $85 each. That blows my mind. Even the summer palettes, and I had to go back and look it up to make sure I wasn't crazy, those palettes were beautiful with the gold toile de jouy design embossed on the powder. They were $75. $85 for a quint eyeshadow palette that I probably will use a handful of times seems crazy. Nobody is going to see that little Miss Dior pouch unless I'm traveling, in which case no one is going to see it then either, because it's just going to sit on my vanity, sit in the drawer. It's cute. It's a nice collectible moment, but I don't know if I love these palettes that much that I can really justify paying $85. I mean, we're now in Tom Ford territory, and I don't buy Tom Ford eyeshadow palettes anymore. I feel myself reaching max capacity with how much I'm willing to spend, how much more I really want to add to my collection. So while they are tempting, when I really sit down with myself and I have an honest conversation, they're not even that tempting. Who am I kidding? I know that I would use these a handful of times and that's it. And I think the Dior eyeshadow formula is very nice for a luxury brand, but it's not my daily go-to. If you are strongly considering spending $85 with tax, well over $90, probably close to $95 on one of these eyeshadow palettes, I implore you to stop, take a breath, take a look at your own collection, see what you already have. Do you have a lot of Dior palettes? Do you actually use them? Are these colors that you are truly going to get use out of? Don't buy anything that you don't feel 100% drawn to, like you in that product. It has to happen. There's also a Pearly Rosewood Dior Show Stilo. This is very pretty and interesting, an easy skip for me. Anytime I've experimented with this type of color in the past, I don't really find it all that flattering on me. It's not a great color. I don't really grab any of my maroon, rosewood, purpley eyeliners. If you're not in the market for eyeshadow, but you love the look of that Miss Dior logo, you do have the option for the Dior Addict cases. It comes in the Shocking Pink, Bold Black, and the Wild Beige. I think the black and white is kind of cool. Again, I'm not really drawn to these. I like the Dior oblique pattern. I like the floral patterns that they do. This is something that I don't really feel fussed either way. In the Rouge Dior lipstick formula, they have limited edition packaging. It just says Miss Dior on the lipstick. The only products from Dior Fall currently sitting in my shopping bag are the nail polishes. Now, these are stunning. I have shocking pink, wild beige, and bold black. The black is sort of a toss-up. I used to have a black shade from Chanel. I think it was called Celebrity, but I want to say it expired. I don't think I have it in my collection anymore. The wild beige looks really beautiful, like the perfect nude, slightly shimmery nail. And then shocking pink is actually a deep maroon. At least it looks like a very, very deep, kind of perfect burgundy fall nail. I think all three of the nail polishes are stunning. If this is all I take home, I'll be happy. We have one final peek at Dior because, you know, they are working overtime. I don't have a lot of information, but it looks like we might be getting a new Dior Prestige activated foundation. So this is their elevated skincare line. There's a little kabuki brush, so maybe it comes with the brush. It looks like a glossy bottle, so probably a hydrating, maybe serum-y texture is what I'm imagining this will be. Le Microfluide from Dior Prestige. I am excited about this. If they come out with a new elevated skincare foundation, I'm definitely picking it up. I have to try it. Now let's talk about Chanel. We have so much new eyeshadow coming our way. There are 4 palettes that I've seen circulating social media. They are now everywhere, but I'm still not sure if this is fall or holiday. It seems like this must be an eye campaign and not holiday, although I don't know. I wish I had more information here. Chanel has been very tight-lipped. They are also known for flagging creators who post too many sneak peeks, although these pictures are everywhere. Anytime I open up my phone, I see more people posting about them. There are swatches everywhere, so we have to go ahead and talk about them. A few months back when I first saw these sneak peeks, I was initially really excited about this launch, but I have since come back down to earth and reminded myself that I don't really use my Chanel eyeshadow palettes that I already have. And these color stories honestly are not moving the needle for me. So let's look at 209. This looks very similar to palettes that already exist, palettes we've seen in the past. The swatches are very light. Now that is kind of the purpose of this palette. I think it's meant to be light, a soft wash of color, a little luminosity, but that's about it. It's not meant to give intensity. So you have to keep that in mind. Even still, these swatches look a little bit pitiful. They look a little bit sad. The top 2 shades, you can barely see them on the skin, let alone see a difference between the two. The soft brown, the soft kind of smoky pearl is nice. I like to see that they're reusing their little stamp molds. I recognize that Chanel No. 5, the bottle, that came from the Chanel No. 5 holiday collection a couple years ago. And then in this palette 219, we have the tweed little embossing. And then one of the other palettes has the button that we had from a holiday collection a couple years ago. So they're still reusing their same stamps that they've had. It's kind of a cool way to bring back all of the stamps and designs that they've ever used to emboss on the powders and just stamp them all, give them all a different design. Back to 219, this is very reminiscent of a Rivoli type of palette, similar to maybe the brown palette from the Tweed collection. These swatches definitely look much richer, a bit more intense. 229, now this is interesting. I love the sunshine stamp. It looks like you have a really pretty light gold, a light kind of metallic blue. This blue shade looks really pretty. It's not intensely blue, it's just sort of a soft kind of seafoam grayish blue. I feel like this palette is at least something different for my collection, and I like the designs a little bit better. It reminds me of summertime or the beach. And then we have 239 with the bright purple. This embossing I definitely recognize from the Button collection. There's a really pretty peach and then a deeper kind of coral orangey brown pink. It's pretty. I wish I had more information to share, like the price when this was launching, because then we could really decide, okay, whether or not it's worth it. If these palettes are pricey, which I imagine they are going to be more expensive than their normal palettes, I may skip the entire collection. They're too inconsistent formula-wise. Sometimes they're great, other times they're not that great. They're always somewhere in the middle where it's not bad makeup, but I think all of these palettes are pretty. They're not ugly. I'm sure you can make beautiful makeup looks using all 4 of these palettes. That is just not enough. Just because something's pretty or not bad doesn't mean you're going to use it. In fact, I think about all of the eyeshadow palettes that I have. The problem is it's not better than what I use. If I'm going to continue to purchase new eyeshadows in the future, it has to be as good, if not better than what I'm currently using. Otherwise, I'll use it once for the review and then I'll never touch it. And I'm gonna go back to what I think is the best. It almost looks like they took all of their old shades, anything that wasn't used yet or put into a palette, they rounded up all of their old designs, all of their old stamps, and they just started going to town, just stamping colors that they've already done time and time again. On my hunt for clarification, I found a TikTok page that had posted a few images that I've seen circulating, but again, there's not a ton of information here, but this looks like it could be part of a fall launch. It's the Autumn Winter Limited Edition Blush Peche Lumiere. This looks very pretty. I would actually be interested in this. It looks like a peachy highlighter. I am sure the top and the bottom shade is different. It doesn't really look different in the picture. Maybe it's the same and it just has a white stripe through the center. I'm not quite sure. And again, these designs don't make a ton of sense to me. It looks like we have a star with the CC, a little camellia in the corner. Is that wheat? Some sort of plant, botanical, maybe some pearls in the upper corner. Not really sure what's going on here. The only thing that stands out to me that I recognize is the star and the camellia, but the color looks really beautiful. Like this looks like the perfect soft beigey blush. It's described here as a luminous collector's blush. I'm sold. This looks beautiful. At least with face powders, you do go through them eventually. Not that often, but I can justify purchasing a powder like that because I have gone through blushes in the past. And then we also have this Duo de Balm. I've seen a few photos of this floating around. I've seen a few images of this floating around. It looks like you get 2 different shades, a balm and then a blush. Sort of interested to see them in person, but I own so many balms that I don't use. I'm also not a huge fan of the stick blush from Chanel, so this might be an easy skip. And then we also have an oversized powder. This could be from the Chanel Fall collection as well. It is one giant purple mauve palette. Looks very interesting. I'd be curious to know what that top opal shade looks like. I imagine it's going to be much prettier in person. For my skin tone, I feel like this would just be eyes. I wouldn't really be able to use this on the cheeks, but for somebody with a deeper skin tone, this might work on the cheek. I don't know. These colors in the photo, it's hard to tell because these purples look very purple, not at all plummy. I love a purple blush, especially on a deeper skin tone, but I don't know if this is the right purple to really be flattering. It's been a while since I visited the boutique picking up the summer collection. I haven't been since, so I need to stop in and see what they have and maybe try to find some information about when the fall collection will launch. Usually it is at the end of August. I feel like every year it gets earlier and earlier. It used to be like September and then August, and now I guess maybe the end of July we might see fall. Now this is the first Hermes makeup collection launch that has piqued my interest that I can remember, at least anytime recently. And I'm not sure. It's not a definite yes, but as soon as I saw the pictures, I said, ooh, that's interesting. It's different, unexpected. They're deeper, cool-toned jewel tones. So I don't look at this palette and think, oh yes, I'm going to create an eyeshadow look using all 4 of those eyeshadows. But that deeper blue, I don't know, it's kind of it's blue, but it's a grayish blue. It's a really interesting color. That to me is very unique. Even the turquoise looks unique. The purple is a much deeper, kind of smoky purple, and then you have a really pretty gold. So it's not that I love this combination together, but I think if you're looking for a pop of color, this is an interesting color combination for sure. I don't own any of the Hermes eyeshadows. I have no idea what the quality is like. If you have any of these eyeshadows, if you've tried them, what are your thoughts? Do you like them? Is it just overpriced makeup and it's stupid? Should I not buy this? Now here's another eyeshadow palette that does interest me from Natasha Denona. It's one of her mini palettes. It's the Gloom mini palette. What can I say? I'm a Natasha Denona stan. I get it. I don't like my large palettes, but I think the minis and the babies are the way to go. I have been using my Baby I Need a Nude eyeshadow palette for the last few months. I've hit pan on 2 shades. I have a goal for myself that I want to finish it completely before the end of the year, and I feel like I'll definitely do it. And I want to buy a backup to this palette. I was looking on her website to see if I could purchase like individuals. The only other palette that has the same shades as Baby I Need a Nude is the I Need a Nude larger palette, which I'm not going to do. Her formula is so consistent. These eyeshadows blend beautifully. They apply gorgeous on the eyes. They last really nicely. I have never received so many compliments on an eyeshadow. Every single time I go out to an event, I mean, every day I wear it, but when I go out to an event and I'm wearing this Natasha Denona sparkle on my lid, I always have people, makeup people, who stop me and say, "What is that eyeshadow? It looks so pretty. It's so dazzling. It's so sparkly." It is one of the most beautiful eyeshadows, and I think the entire set was $28. It came with an eyeliner. I don't really use the eyeliner, but those 3 shades, it's truly all you need to create a look. Affordable, high quality. I'm a huge Natasha Denona fan. These colors are giving fall vibes. It has the fall mood, so I could feel like I was participating in fall beauty without spending a ton of money on something that I will never touch. These are colors that I think I would play around with. I'm scooting in close so you can see what this eyeshadow palette looks like. I use it every single day. I don't know what happened. I have glitter all over my cheeks. I think I accidentally used a brush for powder that I had previously been using for highlighter. So now I have sparkles everywhere and I have to run out the door in a minute to an event. So I don't have time to scrub my face. So don't mind the glitter all over my face. Just look at the eyeshadow. The eyeshadow is so sparkly. 3 shades and that's it. We're also getting a new skin tint from Armani Beauty, inspired by silk, of course, like luminous silk. It is supposed to have niacinamide, hyaluronic acid, serum infused. It has white lily, vitamin C to hydrate and plump the skin, masks dull spots and redness, and it's buildable, light, medium coverage in 20 shades. I am interested to try it, of course. Armani does incredible complexion products. I'm sure this is going to be beautiful. I don't know if this is going to be sent to me in PR. Every once in a while, I do get a package from Armani, so fingers crossed. But if not, it will be something that I would revisit for the savings event. I don't have a huge need for this product right this second, so I'm not going to rush out to purchase as soon as it becomes available, but you know, I have high hopes for Armani. My expectations are very high that this is going to be beautiful. It's worth noting that in the swatches, it looks like it actually has pearl pigment. I don't know why it photographed this way. I imagine it isn't this luminous on the skin, but when you look at the photos, it is very clearly pearlescent, like in a very noticeable way. Not glitter chunks on the face, but yeah, I don't know if I love this. I'm still excited. I imagine it's not going to be quite so glowy in person, in reality. But yeah, in the swatches, it actually looks more like a highlighter. Moving on now to holiday, this is always one of the most highly anticipated, exciting, built-up launches of the year. We have a sneak peek at the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Unlocked palettes. There's going to be a deer, horse, fox, and swan. I'm going to pop all of the photos I can get on screen. I will also list all of the shades down below in the description box so you can cross-reference with shades that you already have and you can see what the inside looks like. There are some videos floating around. We have a good amount of information on these palettes. I think you should be able to decide whether or not this is something that you want to participate in this year or if you're going to skip, which palette looks like your favorite. I do think it's interesting that they came out with custom palettes, took them away, and then they give us these pre-made palettes, so you can't customize them. For the last few years, exclusive to the Hourglass website, not Sephora, you were able to choose the artwork and then the palette combination for the inside. So you can't truly customize them, but you can change the artwork, basically. I've purchased all of these palettes for the last few years. I really like them. Hourglass has beautiful powders. But this year, I don't know, I'm trying to be good about my makeup collection. I'm trying to be very mindful. I just don't get that much use out of these palettes on a regular basis. I mean, I haven't hit pan on any of them. I swatch them every single year because, you know, people want to see comparisons. And every time I swatch them, I think to myself, why did I do this again? All of these look the same. We slice and dice and overanalyze every single shade, but the truth is, it doesn't matter that much if there are new shades or repeats because they are probably going to look sort of similar on the skin anyway. They are such light, finely milled, very sheer powders. They're very sheer. I've heard mixed commentary on the artwork. I think the artwork looks really pretty. I like it. I'm happy with it. I love how they stuck with animals. I saw a few people say that it looks AI, and it absolutely does. You're right about that. I would hope a brand like Hourglass that claims to care about animals, the planet, the environment would not use AI to generate their artwork, but it does sort of look AI generated, but I still think it's very pretty. I'm gonna wait, make a game time decision. I want feedback from all of you. Are you excited about this launch? Are you starting to feel overwhelmed? Are you kind of over it? Do you already have a huge collection of these palettes? What are you thinking? What is the collective group thinking about this Hourglass launch? This is all I've seen for holiday so far this year, so it could be that this is the best thing we get for holiday and everything else is kind of a snooze fest. So we have to wait and see what else is coming. As soon as I get more updates and information, of course, I will share it with you here. But that completes today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it and you liked hearing my thoughts. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. Leave me your comments, questions down below. Is there anything that's tempting you, or are you swearing off shopping for makeup at the moment? Drop me a comment. We'll keep the conversation going there. As always, I will be linking everything mentioned, everything on my face will be down below in the description box and tagged directly to the video for your convenience. And for more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell.